Welcome to our Acumatica Commerce Edition demo. I'm David Eichner with ICANN Software Solutions. We are going to be talking about transforming your business for the new digital economy by moving beyond brick and mortar to online stores using SaaS-based e-commerce sites such as Shopify or BigCommerce, and having that as a full integrated solution with Acumatica ERP. Which will free up your folks to stop chasing their tails with all kinds of problems differences between website and your financial system. Acumatica's core products range from financials, warehouse management, project, customer management, and payroll, but we're going to be talking about the Commerce Edition, which allows for this synchronization, this two-way real-time sync between SaaS-based e-commerce platforms such as Shopify and BigCommerce and Acumatica's back-end ERP system for fulfillment. The Acumatica Commerce Edition is going to synchronize that data, in many cases real-time, other times it is going to be scheduled. And you can determine the kind of latency that you're able to accept with regards to those types of updates. So things like product images, things like the website descriptions of products, those might be things that are not necessarily need to be real time, but can be scheduled perhaps in off hours overnight would be a typical type of scenario. The connector is going to be connecting through directly back and forth with the particular platform, whether it be BigCommerce, Shopify, or any other e-commerce site that is supported at some point in the future. Who knows? There may be other SaaS platforms. Because of the structure and the way this is designed, it's designed so that it can work with many different types of platforms. Right now, they've got it built for BigCommerce and Shopify, but who knows what other sites might be synchronized in the future with this product. It's going to make your business run more efficiently. You're going to be able to manage everything from a single location within Acumatica. You can manage all your product content and images and potential video links and related items and pricing, whether it be customer specific or for the anonymous e-commerce shopper. Additionally, your customer experience is going to be enhanced because people might be able to see their own pricing if they're logged in with an account, be able to see access to invoice history of online and offline orders, and for your warehouse management staff to be able to deliver and fulfill orders much more quickly and get customers their products they ordered faster, which always makes for better customers and makes for a more profitable business. In this sample workflow, it kind of shows you how a manager can manage pricing and product descriptions, how customers can then see that and react to it, place orders, and then how your company can fulfill those orders and have the website automatically updated with information about that fulfillment as it is occurring. At this point, let's jump right into the demo. I'm going to get out of PowerPoint here, and I'm actually going to quit PowerPoint because it is a memory hog. We're also I'm going to close a few other things just to make sure that we don't have any interruptions. And at this point, we're going to proceed. So this is the Commerce Sync monitoring. So as you're running the integration, you're going to see that this particular site, if I refresh the page, will have views of the data that's occurring, of the synchronization that's occurring between Acumatica and BigCommerce. And when we look at the website, you'll see all of this data that's on this website was published from Acumatica. We actually deleted all of the customers and the items that are in the sandbox account that we set up with with BigCommerce's demo data. We just deleted all of their products and customers and orders, and we proceeded to synchronize. With this tool, we're able to push data or pull data, but in the case of getting the website up and running fast, we were able to define all these different things that are going to be synchronized. So we may have customers that we want to have up in the website to be able to have specific customer price class pricing. So all of these types of things about the customer need to be synchronized. So this product, the connector that is part of Commerce Edition, accomplishes that for us. The items may exist in different types of sales categories, like electronics or shirts. The stock items that we have in Acumatica have been pushed up to the site. We've chosen not to do non-stock items in this demo, but you could have non-stock items up there as well. Template items are things like shirts that have attributes that you would select on the website with drop-downs like color or size. And so we'll talk a little bit about how those can be defined in Acumatica and then how it interacts and shows up in BigCommerce. Pricing information, product images are another thing that can be synchronized with the website. Product availability, so that your website knows what quantities are available in your company at different locations, so that you can decide what to do in terms of displaying items on the website if there is no product available currently. The sales orders that occur on the website, payments that are occurring, all of this information is synchronized, and the shipments out of Acumatica that when we fulfill these orders, the status of how it's being shipped, when it's being shipped, and tracking number, that type of information will be synchronized with the BigCommerce site as well. Some of the other things that we'll see on here, and we'll talk more about these settings in a second, but I just want to show if we have an item, and I'll pull up a particular item that we're going to test with today. You'll see that this is our Nikon D7500. And in a previous demo, I had changed the description to Big C at the end. And if we go and we look and do a search up here and type 7500, you'll see it pop up with the Big C, right? And I'm browsing anonymously. So this is using our base sales price right now. If we look at that particular stock item, you'll say, well, that's different than the default price, and that's correct. In Acumatica, we have the definition of default price, and then we have under sales prices, we have a variety of different ways that we can change the pricing. So there could be a base price, and if I type in 7,500 here, pull up our particular item, you can see here that the base sales price is the $14.10 currently, and that matches with the $14.10 here. So the default price is shown, it's marked out, and we're showing the base price, and that's the price that all of our anonymous e-commerce customers are going to see. Now, if we wanted to have a special price, if we go to customer price class, you'll see that there is 1,100 for this price class of special. And we're going to be using a customer today. We're going to have somebody log in who is a contact, the primary contact at this customer, AA customer. And if we look at the billing tab, or maybe it's the financial tab, maybe not, maybe it's the shipping tab. One of these tabs is going to have the price class field right here that indicates that this customer gets special pricing. And because this contact email address is used on a login for the website, it's going to recognize that and it's going to adjust the pricing for that. So we're going to go quickly and change pricing on that too. Now, some of these things are things that typically would change overnight. So if I change that customer price class here for the 7,500 and change that to 1101, save it. The next time that the sync occurs, and this pricing is one of those things that's it's gonna be a process that's scheduled to run at a certain time. Partly for performance and partly for just it doesn't need to be real time like a order coming in might need to be. With BigCommerce, for those types of things that are not crucial that they need to be real time, we can actually do a prepare data and a process data routine. And with Acumatica, any processing screens can be scheduled. So if I look at a particular schedule here, I might have a schedule for base sales price synchronization. And this is going to run, in my case, I've set it up to run every 2 minutes on the even minutes. And I might also have one for the processing of data. This one is going to run every 2 minutes, but on the odd minutes. So it'll process a minute after the prepare does. So if I'm looking at pricing information like base sales price, and I am going to look at a schedule, I'm going to see that the base sales price update to BigCommerce is going to happen on the odd minutes as opposed to the even minutes, but it's going to be every 2 minutes. So every minute it's going to be preparing and processing any changes. Now you probably wouldn't set that up that way. You'd probably have it set for once a day at night. But for purposes of this demo, it makes it a little bit easier if I have these types of scheduled processes happening fairly rapidly. All right, so let's go take a look quickly at the website here. And I have not changed the base sales price. Well, did I? I can't remember. Let me look and see. All right, so that's 1410. I think I changed the sale price or the special pricing. So let's make a change to the base price as well, and we'll see that changes as well. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to change this 7,500 to a base price of 1411. And we're going to save that. And then we're going to go back and we're going to change on our item. We're going to update the item description as well. And while I do that, I want to show you some other things that are synchronizing with the website as well. So in here, if I go ahead and I change this, instead of big C, I'm going to make this big com and click save. We can see that default price information's here as well. I could make that, 1489 perhaps, and save that. We'll see attributes here. Images can be uploaded into Acumatica, and those images then will be synchronized on a scheduled basis up to BigCommerce as well. So we can see that we've got sales categories. So when we're browsing the site, there'll be some categories up on the top part of the site. If I close out of this, you'll see things like electronics, industrial equipment, things of that nature. These are sales categories that have come over from Acumatica and are now populating the products visually up into BigCommerce. All right, the other things that we want to talk about, related items. So BigCommerce has the ability on the page of an item. So if we're looking at the page of this Nikon D7500, we can also, in BigCommerce with a check of a checkbox, tell BigCommerce we want it to display related items at the bottom of the page. So we've added some, in Acumatica, we've added some related items to put on the bottom of the page. And then the other thing that is useful is managing the actual description of the product on the website is coming from this. So if we look at the description tab of this stock item, you'll see all of this information here. When we look at it on the BigCommerce site, we're going to see that same description. The other piece that we want to take a look at is the e-commerce tab for this stock item. And we'll see that some of the search keywords, page title, meta keywords, meta description, all things for SEO are all able to be managed from within Acumatica and then synchronized up to BigCommerce as well. And we'll see these videos when we get to the BigCommerce page for this particular item. You're going to see these videos are there as well. All right, so let's go back out to the site, and I'm going to search for that 7500 again. And you'll notice the description has changed to the BigCom. The default price has changed to $14.89, and the base sales price has now been updated to the $14.11. If I go to that product page, we'll see not only that, but we'll see the images that I mentioned. So you can scroll through those images. You can see the page description that was on the description tab for the stock item. And then as we scroll down the page, we're going to get to videos. So these are all those video links that were stored in Acumatica for the item. So each of these now you can view these images. Remember I mentioned the related products. So if we're on the related products and we want to add things, we have that ability to drill down or just quickly add those items to the cart as well. At this point, we are going to go ahead and add to cart. And I'm going to continue shopping here, and I'm going to show the template item that has multiple different variant attributes like size and color and things of that nature. So if I go back to the home page and I say do another search for shirt, if I can click on shirt, there we go, and type shirt. So now I can find a shirt and I can choose options on this particular shirt. So as I open up the shirt, I'm going to see the drop down tabs here with colors and with sizes. And if we look back in Acumatica's inventory for their template items, we'll see that on the template item listing, and I will just do a search. Actually, I won't have to do search because we don't have too many template items. But this is a t-shirt template item. And the t-shirt template item, if we go and we look at attributes, we can see that there's a couple of attributes that are variant category. And we can define the values that we want to allow for those particular attributes. And then we can choose which combinations do we want to create SKUs for. So in this case, I'm going to say, okay, I'm not supporting color red yet, and I'm only doing 2XL in white. And then when I process these matrix items, then it creates SKUs in a logical format. And these then are a way that we can have BigCommerce, when you select those items, will know which particular inventory ID is being ordered, and we'll send that information back into Acumatica. All right, so let's go back here. Let's select a color. I'm going to select black t-shirt and extra large. I'm going to add that to my cart as well. I'm still shopping anonymously. I'm going to go to proceed to cart. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put in an address here and continue as guest. And I'll just put in here, this is my cat, Leo, and he is ordering stuff online for me for Christmas. And I am going to be surprised when it shows up. So now I've put in my address information. I can define which type of shipping. And the way this knows which type of shipping in Acumatica is to be used is in our configuration of the BigCommerce store. When we look at the connector, right, we've got all of our authorization information to be able to make the connection. We've talked a little bit about all the things that it is synchronizing. But in the order setting, we're going to define a mapping between the shipping methods on BigCommerce and what we want to use for shipping method in Acumatica. And these are set up with web service connections to FedEx or UPS or the Postal Service or whichever carrier you want to use. These are set up so that we know exactly which shipping method is going to be utilized on the order when we go and start fulfilling it. Additionally, we can define the tax zone. So in our demo, we're using Avalara as our tax engine for the website, and is also the tax engine within Acumatica. So there's no difference in how the taxes get calculated. There's no rounding differences that are oftentimes a problem for a lot of companies when their website rounds slightly differently than their accounting system does on taxes, and it's always a big pain in the neck, right? Because then your total invoice total doesn't match, and yada yada yada. And I'm going to select authorize.net. We'll put in our credit card information. And put in our 3-digit code, place the order. All right, and now we have an order 128, which should shortly be within Acumatica, and have Acumatica be automatically starting to provide processing of that order. So one of the things that we've got set up, if we go in and we look at the Commerce Edition, there'll be a sync monitoring system here. So we'll see things pending if we update it as things are happening. There will be processing there. That would seem to indicate that the sales order has come in. If we go into sales orders, we can see that the 128 order, so I'll pull that up again. You can see order number 128. The order has come in, and the status is currently in open. Now, we have in Acumatica the ability to schedule automatic processing of things. So pretty much every processing screen in Acumatica will have this schedule capability. So in this case, we want shipment records to automatically be created so that our shipping clerk knows there's things that need to be shipped. So in this case, we're looking at everything in this restrictions. And if we look at the scheduling, just like we schedule the updates of the pricing information to happen every couple of minutes, we've got this set up to create the shipping records every couple of minutes as well. Might be something that you would want to do to immediately give people the ability to see those shipments as soon as they are created. If I look at the shipping clerk homepage, and you can see we've got all these dashboards, and the routine for creating that order is not run quite yet. So we'll just give it a few more minutes. But that order should pop up, and you can see some of the ones from earlier today as I was doing other demos have automatically had those orders create a shipment. If we go into process orders or sales orders, the status will change. So if we look at that order for order 128, you can see the status changed to shipping. And what that means is that the automated routine that we had scheduled has created the shipping record now. So let's go back to the shipping clerk. And you can see now that that new record has popped in. We've got 3475, which is the most current one. So I'll go ahead and select that. And so I'm the shipping clerk. I want to get started shipping this. I'm going to come in, pull up that shipping record. I can see that this is needing to be sent out. I can print a pick list from here, or I can schedule and have it print pick list for multiple orders from another processing screen. In this particular pick list, we'll have barcodes so that if you have a barcode gun or if you're just using the phone app, which we have a phone app, which for warehouse management, you can actually use your phone, Android or Microsoft, or I'm sorry, Android or Apple based phones can use the mobile app, and there's no charge for their mobile app. It's a free download. You can read those barcodes as you're doing your picking. And so let's pretend like we're going to package up now that we've picked for the shipment. We've got the stuff. We're going to put it in the package. By default in our setup, based on the items, we have it auto-populating a package size. I'm going to do one change here in that the Sandbox shipping account has a problem if you try to put too much into their boxes for their shipping, the FedEx shipping, if it's too high of a declared value. So first thing I'm going to do is going to save that just so we don't encounter that particular issue. The next thing is we can, and I like to recommend this it be done by customers, is always obtain the return label in case this particular customer decides they want to return it. If they do, we can just pull this particular order shipment up, see this file, and we can download and email them that file, that image file, which is the return label from FedEx for that particular product. Now, the other thing we can do, if I go back to that shipment record again, and you'll notice that Acumatica remembers which shipment you were on. If you came right into the screen without drilling down to it from the dashboard, it would actually remember the shipment you were working on last and populate it, expecting that that's what you were wanting to go back into. All right, the other thing we can do is confirm the shipment. You'll notice that we've gotten a tracking number from FedEx. So as we confirm this shipment, we're going to be able to see a shipping label, which can be printed on a label printer. And now we've got that ability to send that package out. And we've also changed the status of this order and this shipment record. You'll notice the next thing is prepare invoice, right? So we could email a shipment notification. We could have an automated schedule email a shipment notification. I'm going to show you some of those types of things in the sales area. So processing a shipment, this could be multiple things. And again, remember I said processing gives us a scheduler. So we can schedule different things. If I wanted to automatically email shipments, I can have a schedule that emails shipments. Anything that is for today, it's scheduled every 2 minutes. It's going to email a shipment notification to the customer. The other things we can do is have it prepare the invoice, have it generate the invoice for that shipment. And in this case, you would have another one scheduled for preparing invoices. Now, if we wait a few minutes, these things are going to happen automatically. So if I go in and look at invoices, at some point here, we're going to have a new invoice that is balanced. So if I came into this invoice, I can look at this invoice. And this invoice now has things that can be posted, which is the release button. That would post it. Other things it could have, we might want to email the invoice, right? We might want to post or email an invoice. Right now it's balanced and it can be posted. If we're in the process invoices and memos area, we might want to release invoices, right? So any invoices that are set here, we could have a release schedule that every couple of minutes, and this should fire off in a minute or two, that will post automatically those invoices as they are coming in. I'm just going to speed this up, I'm just going to go ahead and click process and release those. And in a second, that's going to finish. This is why you want to have things scheduled so you're not sitting around waiting. You want these things to happen automatically in the background. So, but that's all right. We'll close that. Now, if we look at that invoice in AR, so we should see that invoice now here as an open invoice, BigCommerce 128, right? We still see in the description. If we come into this invoice, it's still in an open status because the payment that was captured has not been released or posted yet. So we have this payment sitting there ready to be posted. So what we're going to do is we most likely you would have a scheduled routine for releasing these payments. So I'm going to go into the release AR documents screen again. So now we're gonna release all of them and let those all release. And once that prepayment is released, it should be closed out. And once it's closed out, then the invoice should change status to closed as well. So we'll let this finish up here, and then we'll have our full complete process. Looks like we had some bad records on some of these other ones, which is okay. Hopefully 3224 is no longer there, and it isn't. Okay, good. So now if we look at that invoice, I would expect our invoice status for that e-commerce invoice to be closed, and indeed it is. If we look at the payment, the 3224 payment is also closed. So as that was released, it then released the related e-commerce invoice. We've gone fully from the sales order all the way through the processing of fulfillment of the document, the shipment of the order, and we have processed the credit card release of that payment as well. Some of the other things that we might want to look at too is if we are logged in with special pricing. In this case, I'm going to continue shopping, but this time I'm going to log in as a particular person. And so I'm going to log in as D. Eichner, which is at icansoftware.com, and put in my password. And when I log in, I'll be able to see any orders that I ordered previously here and select an item, special pricing, add to cart. And then I'm going to take that and check out. When I check out, it'll bring up my shipping information. I'm going to log in with ground shipping, click continue. It's going to remember my credit card processing from previous time I was in here. So all I have to do is put in my 3-digit code, place the order. And now I should have a new order ID, 129, for this one camera. We come back to Acumatica, and we go to our sync. One pending, two pending, and now it's done. So now we got our sales order. We can go back and look at this new sales order. And this sales order, 129, quantity of 1. We're going to come back in here again. Now, remember, we said all this could be automated. I'm going to just zip through this quickly. So we're going to ship from a particular warehouse. It's going to generate the shipment record. I want to go to packages. I want to get my return label. When it gets the return label, it also, oops, what does that say? Oh, because of my value. Remember I said that my declared value has to be lower. And we'll save that demo issue. And let's get those return labels again. So it's talking to FedEx. Now it's got the tracking number. It's got the return label. And now I want to confirm shipment. So I'm just going to confirm this package, confirm shipment. That gets me my shipping label in there. I can print that. I could wait for the schedule to automatically generate the invoice, but I could also just say prepare invoice for that shipment. And I might also email the invoice as well. And I could also release it, or I could have a scheduled routine release it. And then on the receivable side of things, the prepayment, we'll want to make sure that that gets released as well. So I'm going to pull that up. Again, this could have been scheduled. I just don't want to wait around in this particular demo to show you that again. So we'll just release that automatically. All right. And you can see the credit card processing information. We've captured the token with authorize.net. The transaction number here gives us a link back to authorize.net if we need it. And at this point, if we look at our invoice, the invoice is completely closed, and we have shipped that particular product to our great customer, Alta Ace, AA customer. Or e-customer one, because this one actually created a e-commerce customer. So we have walked through, I think, everything that we wanted to show you today. The shipping status, if I'm logged in with the order, I might want to go back and look at the status of my orders. So I believe, let's see here, where is that? Under my account, I can see my orders, and so I can see that shipping status, and it will eventually update. I went through that pretty fast. So the sync that is going to process this will update, and the order will have, oh, there it goes. The order has been shipped. The payment method is there. And if I look down on here, I've got a tracking number as well for the ground shipping with FedEx. So you might actually call this FedEx ground shipping, so that, you know, in your setup of BigCommerce rather than just ground shipping. But the key point is not only has all that happened, if we look at some of the emails that BigCommerce has sent out, we've gotten notification that the order has shipped. So you can see now the last email that I got from BigCommerce was that status change. But this is the product that will allow you to move from a brick and mortar company to an online company that can survive the current environment rather than withering away. This is a software that allows you to automate, to do more with less people by automating processes that should happen step by step automatically with a minimal amount of having your users having to key data in and do stuff. And that really is what the value of a true cloud ERP product like Acumatica provides. Thank you very much for this demo. I appreciate your time, and I'll turn it back over to our salesperson.